Hello everyone, and welcome back to Women's Weekly. We are on week 3 of April, and that means that we have a few players contending to get the $50 prize. And the way that they do that is that they have to have accumulated 2 tournament wins over the course of the month to be able to earn a $50 prize, and that is capped at 3 players. So today we're actually going to be seeing a couple of them duke it out, and they are on separate teams, so that would mean that the possibility is doubled that one of them might be able to take away a prize today. If you guys missed it last week, we had our first winner of the month, Pads, taking her second win and therefore earning one of the 3 $50 bounties for the month of April. So congratulations to Pads, and she is in fact playing again today with her official WCB roster, ERN Roar Lionesses. But I'll put on screen now, we've got 4 players in contention for the $50 prize, and there are only 2 slots left. So they're going to have to duke it out to see who's going to come away with it. So we are going to see if that comes to fruition today. But with that, we are going to get right into the games. All right, looking at the bracket here, it looks like we've got ERN Roar Lionesses going straight to the finals. And then we've got on the other side, Empathy Whiff. As I understand this is a previous WCB roster, and they've had changes now to the players, but I think these were the original trio that competed in WCB. So we're going to see them going up against, yet again, another Hawaiian pizza roster. And guess what? Guess who's on it? Demon Mara. She's a mainstay. This is her team name, as it turns out. And she is going to be joined by a couple of her friends. So let's get right into the games. All right, getting into the semifinals, we see Hawaiian Pizza already up 1 in this first game. And as I like to remind all the viewers, every single time we do this, semifinals and any games leading up to the finals are best of 3, and then the finals themselves are best of 5. So, you know, got to keep it short for the interest of time and making sure we don't ask too much of these players today. But we are going to be kicking it off with a best of 3, and it looks like Hawaiian Pizza have even made their lead double since I have started talking. Now, we see Mythra here as we switch to her perspective, and Dakri is the one who is in contention for the $50 prize this week. And following up the roster is Demon Mara. And then on the other side, we have got Mia, Kazumi, and Panik. So original WCB roster against a good group of friends. Gonna see how this turns out. It looks like Hawaiian Pizza have the advantage right now, and they are going to try to extend that. But one thing I like to do whenever we have an EU player in the lobby, like we do with Mythra here, I'm gonna do a quick ping check. So let's see what she's working with. And it looks like she's on 136. So not gonna lie, that's not the best ping for her. She her ideal ping EU to NAE servers, which is where we host these games, is probably around 90 to 100. That seems to be the average of what players can achieve on a random roll. And, you know, since we run this through the in-game tournament function, shout out to that. It makes it a lot easier for me to put these on. You know, it means that they just get a completely random roll, and we can't search around to find an optimum server for them. But as we know, Pads has already been the first player to secure the bounty, and she actually is on EU. So she managed to secure 2 wins being from EU, so I don't see any problem with it being, you know, reasonable for others to achieve. But as I keep talking and explaining everything, Hawaiian Pizza are definitely running up the score. It looks like they've just got immense pressure against this Empathy Whiff Empathy Whiff roster. My goodness, that is a mouthful. And we are going to see them absolutely crushing it in this first game. Now, Empathy Whiff, they've competed a couple times now since we have switched to Wednesdays. We originally started on Saturdays, but then it turns out that basically everybody wants their events to be on Saturdays, and, you know, try not to compete with that since we do it every single week. Switched to Thursdays and finally settled on Wednesdays. So if you are a lady that has been watching these or is just tuning in for the first time and you're like, how do I get involved in this? Well, what you can do is you can look in the description of this video. I have links down in there, and you are going to see Women's Weekly, the Twitter and the Discord link to be able to join. Now, one of the things that we do require when you join the server is that you must be a verified member of Women's Carball, which is the biggest, I would say, women's league in the scene in Rocket League. And you know, the reason that we require verification in that server is because, one, I don't have a verification process myself, so to keep this a safe space, I'm working off of another community's verification that I compete in myself. So you know, just and you know, the other thing is that I want to give back to the community, because I have met so many wonderful ladies through Women's Carball, and I kind of, the way that I structure Women's Weekly in terms of why I built it, and you know, the reason I keep running it, is because I want to provide regular competition to the casual and the hardcore gamer alike, in terms of giving women a space to play, because you know, you don't have to have a formal roster to register for these. We see this with the Hawaiian Pizza Squad, who is currently crushing Empathy Whiff and possibly on the road to getting a Brazil. And you know, their pickup squad just coming together to play and have some fun with their friends and see if they can't take a couple wins. So, you know, verification in WCB is kind of like an offer. You know, have fun in Women's Weekly. That's great. Love to have you here. Excited to see all the women that participate. And, you know, I like providing the opportunity. But also then, if you end up liking it and you find yourself wanting to compete more and wanting to get on an official roster, you've already taken that first step. So, you know, just trying to make a connection between the seriousness of a league like WCB and the casual enjoyment that Women's Weekly can provide. So we're going to end this first game here with Hawaiian Pizza taking it in a pretty convincing victory and move into the second game. Game number 2, we're going to see Hawaiian Pizza up with a 1-game lead, and if Empathy Whiff don't come back in this one, they are going to be going out in the semifinals. But it looks like Hawaiian Pizza are really bringing it to this squad, and they're going to have to do a lot to try to bring it back. But so far, we see them once again back in defense on their side until Kazumi clears it out. Now dakri, she's going to collect it back on the right wall. She's even going to double commit with Mythra all the way along the wall, and that is going to leave it open for Dimamara to clean up. Now, I wouldn't say necessarily the most team synergy right there, as they both went for the shot, but it definitely seemed to confuse Mia and Panik on defense, and that is going to lead to the first goal of this game. Now, something that I've noticed with the squads that seem to be struggling, that seem to be, you know, locked in on defense, is that the offense really does get comfortable pushing a lot into their side. So if they can get a breakaway and capitalize on that, you know, we're going to see a little bit more success, but getting out of their half is going to be the key. And, you know, so far they've got a little push here on the side, but it looks like Dimamara is going to push it out of the way, and it is going to go onto the side of the field where Kazumi takes it away. dakri intercepts in the midfield and is going to go off the right wall. Mia missing her touch, but don't worry, Panik is there to save it away, and Mia follows up with a shot on the net. Now actually Mythra is going to be called out as Panik sinks one into the left side. Now that is just going to be a poor clear from Mara, and Mythra thinking she had it, was going to follow into the back corner, maybe looking for the boost grab, I don't know, but she is going to be called out for that. You know, it's never wise to leave your net undefended, no matter where you predict the play is going to go, because if there's one thing we all know about Rocket League, is that anything can happen at any time. So pinches alone are a good example of that. You know, you could be chilling on your side of the field and then all of a sudden your screamer comes at your net. Yeah, you're not saving that. But we are going to see Hawaiian Pizza answer back with a second goal of their own, once again leading. Now Mia going on the left side, she's going to pop it high into the middle, but Mythra is going to be able to save that away. Panik challenges in the corner, and as dakri and Mythra follow it down the side of the field. Now Mara putting a shot up top, just trying to keep it away from the defense, but that is going to leave an opening for Panik to get a clear out. She misses her second touch on it though, and Kazumi also not connecting as we see a little bit of Panik in the midfield. Now Mara going up for a flip reset. She gets it quickly and pops right back down. That's going to leave Mia to try to clear it off the back wall, but dakri is too quick for her. Now Mythra up for the pre-jump, but Panik is able to save it away. Mara popping out into the center. Kazumi misses her touch again, and that is going to leave Mia to own goal in her efforts to save it, having a 3-1 scoreline. Now that's a very controlled touch from Mara. That's exactly what you want to do if you're looking to outplay multiple people in your games, because you know something that is not utilized quite enough is popping the ball into your back wall or into the side wall to try to get it out of the path that an opponent would expect you to hit it, because you know Rocket League monkey brain goes always on net. If you just change your angle of attack just a little bit, you most often get it past 1 or 2 defenders. But getting back into the game here, we see Kazumi bringing it down the field. Panik tries to get a follow-up touch on it, but she misses her touch. And now that is going to leave Mythra to pass it down back into the middle. dakri getting a demo, as is standard for her. And I know I mentioned this in the beginning, but just as a reminder to all, you would have previously known her as Emily, a very aggressive player, and she is going to be able to put in the 4th. But having some defensive misses and just a little bit of offensive pressure on that side from dakri getting that demo is going to leave it open to get another goal. Now it looks like even though there's half of a game remaining, Empathy Whiff have a lot to do in this, and you know they're going to be struggling to come back to even, but it looks like they are giving it their absolute all as Kazumi tries to put a shot on net. She doesn't quite connect with it, and Mia is going to get a little pop over the top. That was very well placed by her, you know, just keeping it controlled in that corner, and that's, I mean, that's a sight of luck right there. With the defender popping it back out into the middle. But hey, I mean, you take your goals where you can get them, you know. But moving into this, they still got 2 more goals to make up, as well as a winning goal. You know, I need to see a bit more on this momentum, but dakri, she's gonna slow that down to a standstill as Kazumi not getting the right touch off of the sidewall, and dakri, she's just gonna pop that right back in. Right back into the net. We have Mythra in the chat, you know, going on comments here. It looks like Emmy is dakri, like we just mentioned, and we are going to see some class coming from the Hawaiian Pizza Squad. Looks like they're getting warmed up. They're ready to face the ERN Roar Lionesses that are waiting for them in the finals, as Mythra puts a screamer into the top shelf of the net. Mara beating Empathy on the kickoff. We have another whiff in the back line, but Mia's going to be able to make up for it. Now we have pressure continuing to pile on to the blue end. Panik is going to be able to bring it out. Now Mythra calmly handling that in the back line. She gets 1 touch, 2 touch, out into the middle, 3rd touch even, and that gets it past all the defenders, but a dead ball with no teammate to follow up. Now dakri bringing it down the sideline. Mythra has to get up early to beat the offender, and that is going to be dakri with a redirect shot on net. She is not able to get it online, and that is going to leave Kazumi open to bring it the other way. Mythra getting back in time to make the goal line save. She has Mia challenge her on the sidewall, and that actually leaves it completely open net as all 3 Empathy Whiff members move upfield. But fortunately for them, it looked like Hawaiian Pizza were not quite ready for that overextension. Now Panik getting a block in the midfield. Mara's going to come up on it, but Panik gets another beat. Mia looking for the follow-up. She goes out of the net, and that shot is actually wide from Mythra. She gets the boost, but she dies for the trouble. And now we see Mara playing it slow in the back corner. Fakes out Mia, gets a past Panik. Now with a pop from the defender, is going to leave Mythra open to get it into the top right corner, and now this is a 7-2 game. Where did the goals come from? You know, all of a sudden this seems completely out of reach for Empathy Whiff. You know, I would be flabbergasted if they were able to bring this back, but you know, the game's never over. until it's over. So we are going to reserve judgment and keep watching this and see how they can do. Now Panik with a save out into the corner. Mara's going to get the challenge on the side along with Mythra, and that is going to be a 3-on-1 on the net. Dakri handles it well though, getting the save away. Now Panik with a good 50. She gets it past the second as she pops it past the corner, but Mara's going to get back in time to take it in front of her net. She doesn't have the boost to support it, and Mythra with a goal line save. That was a good prediction on the shot there and is going to save them from conceding in the final seconds. Will we see any heroics, any last minute goals? No, it is going to drop to the ground off Kazumi's touch. We have Hawaiian Pizza moving into the finals with a 2-0 victory. All right, as we saw at the beginning, we have Era and Roar Lionesses waiting in the finals, and we see that Hawaiian Pizza move on to challenge them. Now, we have an interesting storyline here because we have 2 players that have previously secured a win in the month of April. So we are going to see somebody walk away with a $50 prize. But without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, here we are in the finals, a best of 5, Hawaiian Pizza against Era and Roar. And like I said in the intermission, as we looked at the bracket, we have Dakri on the Hawaiian Pizza side. If she wins, she will be securing the $50 bounty for 2 tournament wins in the month of April. And on the Era and Roar side, we have RoseBlushes, who actually just scored a goal for us. Thank you for that, so that I can highlight you. So last week we saw RoseBlushes take the win with Pads and Jazzkitty. So she already has 1 win under her belt to be able to get a shot at this $50. Now, the one thing that is important to note is that because this is the full Era and Roar roster, they are actually all EU players. So, you know, we're going to have to do a quick ping check here. Let's see what we got. Ooh. Okay, that's not ideal, but we do have Mythra on similarly placed ping. So 120 for all of the Era and Roar girls. It looks like they're kind of just shaking it off right now, though. So up 2-1 in this first game, and it is going to be a best of 5. So we're going to need to see 3 wins on whoever's going to take this. Now Mythra trying for a high angle shot. Pads is going to wait that away, and it is going to leave it open for Dakri to get a quick shot on net, but it is saved away as Rose brings it down the other end. Mythra clearing it off the back wall. Mara's trying to go follow up on it, but Pads gets the interception. It only goes as far as midfield. Now Sarah, she's waiting for a pass out into the middle, but the takeaway from Dakri in the corner is going to leave it to Pads to save on the net, and now Rose even following up on that touch. Sarah going ahead, trying to get a shot on net, but Dakri saves it away, putting in work for her team. Now Dakri and Mythra double commit on the line is going to force Sarah to get a top shot, and off of the demo on Pads from Dakri. I'm so used to calling her Emily, I was just about to do it. We actually see a hole in the defense, and Mythra with a power shot on net is going to bring it to even. Now we have an even kickoff in the middle. Dakri getting a shot on net, but Sarah is going to easily save that away. She even gets a past 1, goes for the second, but Dakri in the back line holds it down for her team. Now she gets a long clear up to the other half of the field. Mara not able to play off of that, and it's just going to be a possession play. Sarah putting pressure in the corner, gets it past Mythra, goes for a second past Mara, but she is able to stop it. And now we see her pushing forward again, trying to get that physical play. Mythra up early, but Rose gets the block. And we move into corner play. Now, the corners are actually one of the safest parts on the field, whether it is on your end or the opponent's end, because there are not very many angles to put a shot online, no matter what you do with the ball. So, you know, it's safe to say that a corner is a low-scoring opportunity. So when we see it on either end of the field, you know, each team can feel pretty safe as long as there is not a passing option to be quickly capitalized on. But we are going to see Sarah cleaning off the post, and we get Mara with a great goal line save off of Rose's shot. Now Rose trying to turn on it. She does get a 50-50. Sarah's going to go up and try to get a pass with her, and even going on the back wall, trying to clear the final player. Paz up. She gets a dumb 1-1. She puts it back out into the middle, and Rose is going to be able to clean that up. Now, don't mind me really quick. I got to turn off my quality connection indicators as per usual because poo-poo internet. And I don't know. I think that might have, there we go, messed with my interface. But now we see ERN fighting back, playing a part of the demo game as dakri just did to them in the previous goal. And that is going to open up the opportunity for ERN Roar. Now dakri with a good save. Mythra is going to bait out the 50, and she does stop the advance for now, even getting it cleared all the way down the other end of the field for Rose to take away. Rose following up with a good air dribble. dakri is going to put it over top of her net. That is one of the safer areas as well, because it is hard to drop the ball directly down into the net. Now clear. Moving into the blue corner. Mara classically going ahead, trying to get another physical play on the offensive team. That advance is going to be stopped by Mythra. dakri following up on it on the backboard. Woo! We almost saw a crazy double tap, but Rose is going to save it away, take it down the other end. She's going to get it past one, fake him out, and now Mara with a defensive air dribble to stall for time. dakri dives in to get the 50. Pads didn't expect it, and we almost see an equalizer in the final seconds here. Can Hawaiian Pizza do anything with this ball? dakri gets a 50. All three players commit, and it is over the blue goal line. Can they turn and get it in? No, it is going to drop and go to ERN Roar Lionesses. 1 up in the series. Game number 2 out of a potential 5. Hawaiian Pizza and ERN Roar. Now, we might have one player motionless, as she said she was going to go get a new mint water. Not quite sure what that is. Of course, maybe that's just because I'm an NA plebeian. But we are going to see a goal come from it as Hawaiian Pizza take their first. Now, the question is, has Sarah joined back again to make this a fair fight for her roster? Now, there are no rules on this. It's run by the tournament, so we can't delay people joining back in. It's just a 60-second clock countdown in the lobby screen. But, you know, I do not tell the players what to do in this. Hawaiian Pizza can run up the score while Sarah is gone if they want. You know, it's down to the players to be here and present. So it's just an unfortunate circumstance for for ERN Roar, and as Pads drops an F in chat. Now it looks like Sarah is finally back, and it is going to stop at 2 goals with the Hawaiian Pizza advantage. Now we go back into regular 3v3 play rather than the 3v2 that we were doing previously. Mara gets a block on the sidewall. dakri up quickly in the middle, and Mythra follows that up with a touch into the blue corner. Now Rose trying to get a clear out. Pads is going to keep it safe in the corner as Sarah follows up on it. It's going to be a high pop into the middle. Pads is already up for it, and she puts a shot high, and that forces Mara to miss in the back line. That was a very fast transition on the other end, helped a little bit by the challenge from dakri, going pretty fast off of the ceiling and into the center. Now we are going to see ERN Roar fighting back. They didn't like that 2-goal disadvantage, so they're going to be working to get back into this game. But for now, we see Paz passed herself off the sidewall, but it is cut off by Mythra, and she follows it up with a shot down into the center of the field. Now Rose with a quick counter, but it is going to be offline, so dakri can pinch it to safety. Now we are going to have Mythra and dakri coming down the other end, putting a shot online. Rose saves it away though, and we see a counterattack. dakri, defensive pass to Mythra. She doesn't follow up on the first touch, but she does get the sidewall bounce, and that is going to force Sarah to have a goal line save as she pushes it out into the midfield. Rose with a good pop over the top of Mara in the midfield, and that is going to be a second goal as Rose gets the tight angle shot from the left corner off of the save from dakri. Now, now that is one situation where the corner was not safe. Very tight angle, very hard to be able to put on net, but Rose showing how just a simple power shot that is just eking it out in the angle can be successful from corner play. So very good example of a low frequency play, but is very highly successful when executed correctly. Pads, she's in the back line, tries to make a big clear, but only goes as far as midfield, and Mara. Sarah following it up with a clear out though. dakri with another defensive passing play, but Mythra was not wise to that. It's going to force Mara to go on the defensive. dakri dives in to save her as Pads tries to pass it out to the middle. Now we see Sarah taking it patiently all the way back into her corner, collecting the boost, and Mythra is going to make the challenge, forcing Pads and Mara up in the middle. Now Rose with a good air dribble past one. She tries to get the reset, but she's going to drop it down to Pads to follow up. Now with a power shot, wow, right into the top right corner. It looks like that new mint water is doing wonders for Sarah. She is going to get yet another power shot to bring her team up 1 goal advantage after being absent for the first, I'd say, 20 seconds or so of game and having her team be down 0-2. Very good recovery from ERN Roar right here. And I do want to keep reminding everybody, these girls are playing on 120 ping. That's crazy. You know, I'm a US West player, and I even complain about playing on consistent 80 to 90 ping. That's only comparable to Middle East to EU. These ladies, they're really putting in work on these NA East servers. But are we going to see Hawaiian Pizza fight back? They've got to come back in this game, and they definitely should, as they did have the goal advantage. You know, it'd be pretty disappointing and probably a strain to the mental to know that they had 2 free goals essentially and still lost the game. Now Mara, she misses her touch. dakri dives in for the save. Mythra and her moving up the line, trying to make a play in the center. dakri is going to chase the demo, but that means that nobody can follow up on Mythra's pass. We're going to see it move down the other end. Now Pads, quick challenge, goes out to Sarek in the midfield. Rose, soft pop up into the right corner, and that is going to fly out to Pads in the middle. dakri waiting on her touch, misses it as Pads turns around for the challenge. Sarek is going to get the demo on her, but she flips way too high up, leaving Rose to get the 50-50. Now it's going to be Pads alone in the back line. She's going to try to take this across her net. That was very dangerous, and she does get demoed by Mara on her way out. Mythra, her shot just a little bit to the wide. Now it's going to go out into the center. Mara putting it up high, and both the defenders missed, but unfortunately she landed in such a way that she cleared the ball herself, and her teammates could not get a follow-up. Now we see Rose, quick shot to the left side. That is going to be very well placed by her. We're seeing the ERN Roar ladies showing us a masterclass in placement right now. You know, just fast with just, okay, so the perfect combination, power, placement. If you get that down in terms of your shot quality, your goals are going to come a lot easier, because it is so hard to save a shot that has both good placement and good power. And that is what we see at the highest level of Rocket League. You know, most of the time when we see pro games and the goals that go in, it's just because they peppered the net with perfectly placed shots that had a lot of power behind it. So ERN Roar kind of showing us how it's done on Forbidden Temple. Now Mara taking it slow down the right side. She's going to try to get pass out into the middle, but Mythra commits as the last woman, and that's going to leave dakri on the defensive. Air dribble out of her half, but we don't have any time left as ERN Roar take a victory 2-0. They only have to get 1 more to be the winners of week 3. Game number 3, ERN Roar have the advantage. And it looks like now, instead of Sarah being AFK, we are going to have Pads being AFK, presumably to go get mid water. So ERN Roar just, I mean, at this point, I would want to say egoing the Hawaiian Pizza squad, saying, hey, you got a 2-goal advantage last game and you still couldn't win after my teammate went and got mint water. Well, I'm gonna go fancy myself a little bit mint water. So, you know, gonna see how we can lock it down. Now they are going to concede 1 goal off of this 2v3 situation, but we do see them with offensive pressure quickly into the second advance. Now Mara trying to get up early. That is going to force a miss out of the defender. And we are going to see a clear out to the left side. Now Pads with a good pop over one. Rose is going to be able to follow up all the way into the other half. But Mara with a defensive pass over to the left side. She is not going to be able to secure the boost, and that is going to leave Mythra to try to make a solo push down the middle. Now Rose going for the tight angle shot. She tries to pop it down as a pass to Pads, and it is successful as she sinks one into the back of the net. Just made a little bit awkward for Mara to go for. Popped it back over the top of the net, and she beat Mythra to the pass down into the middle, leading to the equalizer. Now Hawaiian Pizza. Can they make this respectable? Can they take a game off of this fully formed WCB roster that seems to have all the momentum in this matchup? Pads, getting a pass out to Rose. Goes a little bit fast, and dakri just there in time to get the save on the second shot. She's going to go fast down the other end, but Pads is there to get in the way of it. Now Rose pushing up into the other half. We're going to see Mythra try to take it all the way down. She even gets a demo on the last player, but Rose returns the favor as a dakri puts pressure on the net. Now Rose down the other end. She's going to get a power shot to the side, and it does go off of Mythra's car. Just a good transition play here. Now the light touch right there that we just saw is the key to Rose getting that goal, because she kept possession with it. If she had hit it any harder than that, it would have closed the gap between the ball and Mythra, and she would have been able to make a play on it. But as it stood, she had to back off for a little bit too long, and that just made the power shot easier to, you know, make go in the net after, you know, considering good placement. I'm forgetting all my words here, so forgive me, but I hope you get my point. Now, Mara circling in the back line, trying to get a physical advantage over this ERN squad, but dakri is going to be forced away to make a save. Mythra 50 in the corner once, twice, and that is going to go back out to dakri, where she air dribbles it out of defense. Now Pads trying to make it back. She does cover the defensive misplay as it moves back into midfield. Now we do see Rose stopping it at the near post. Mara's going to try to take it down into the center field to be able to get an air dribble out to the side, but the ERN girls are all over her. Now Sarek with a controlled play. She does have an open net. She places it right, and she is going to try to go for the demo, but her teammates get back in time. Hawaiian Pizza survives another day. Now that is completely open for Mara off of the miss from ERN. Let's see what happened here. Looks like Mara, just a chip shot. See, she didn't put it online, but because the defense thought it was online, they dove for the shot, misread where the touch was going to go, and that leaves it open for Mara to clean up. I'm telling you, if you're trying to get more successful solo plays, you got to go with the option of shoot it offline, pass it to yourself off of the sidewall, and then follow up with a powerful shot on target. And that is going to be, you know, you're going to come away with a lot more success from that. Now dakri trying to get a pass out into the middle, but Mara was being chased away by an ERN player. We are going to see it move back into orange half. dakri bringing it up for an air dribble. She gets it over one, but she is bumped, so that leaves her teammates to make a play on the wall. Rose is going to get a diving save and even a follow-up touch to bring it out into midfield. She beats Mythra, and that is actually just going to go straight into the goal. Hawaiian Pizza getting a little bit called out on their defense and their rotation and positionings. Yeah, and that was a pinch off of the defender. There's a low chance you're going to be able to stop that. Mythra might be a little bit tilted if the chat is anything to go off of, but you know, I still have full faith. Hawaiian Pizza have the opportunity to bring this back. It's not like ER and Roar are running away with every game. They have been pretty close so far, and you know, they've just got to remember that and work with each other to bring it back to even. Mythra trying to get a play out of the corner. Mara's going to be blocked by Pads in the back line. Now we see Rose and Sarah working together to move it out of their half. dakri intercepts in the midfield, brings it out for an air dribble. She didn't get the ideal touch that she wanted, but Mara's going to be there to support her. Now dakri popping up again. Mara with a shot online, and that almost goes in off of the defense, but it is saved away. Mythra missing her touch. Pads also not connecting with it. And that's going to leave Mara with a play down line. She's going to try to get a pass out into the middle. That is high for dakri. Can she put a shot on net? And that does go in off of the defender. Just a little bit awkward on the back wall from ERN. And dakri, with the placement and the speed, is going to capitalize on that. It looks like Rose just backflips instead of getting the touch she wanted. And it is hard, you know, as soon as any one of your wheels goes off of the edge of the net into the empty space, you're going to have misflips here and there. I know I do that all the time, and I'm sure any lower rank players can, you know, can relate to that. But we are going to see another demo. Pads getting one in the midfield as well. That leaves a lot of space for ERN to work with. And Sarah up early. She misses her touch. dakri is going to clear it out of the corner. Now we have dakri making a push in the back corner. Sarek is going to need to bail Pads out as it goes only as far as Mythra. Now Pads getting it past one, trying to get it past the second, but Mara does save it away. And that shot is on target and in for Rose. Oh, that's such a heartbreaker in the final 10 seconds for Hawaiian Pizza. They're going to have to get a kickoff goal to be able to continue on in this series. And you know, with the way that they've been looking, it's definitely possible, but it is an uphill battle. So let's see what they can pull out here, see if they have any kickoff strats. I know it's going to be a regular kickoff. dakri does get possession on it. Pads is going to clear it high. Is Mythra there for the shot? It is wide, and Mara actually gets the 0-second equalizer off of that. She was waiting there for the save. Pads didn't quite get the touch she wanted. You could tell. And Mara shoving it into the goal, trying to get into the top corner. Very, very good team play from these ladies. Now let's see. Can they close out the game? We move into our first overtime in this matchup, if I'm remembering correctly. And we're going to see Pads on defense, taking it high into the back wall. Sarek is going to try to get the follow-up in the corner, but Mara is there to steal it away. Mythra, pressure on the net. Sarek is going to have to dive and get a touch. dakri trying to get a offensive push going as the third woman, but that is going to move all the way into the orange half. Now Mythra with another follow-up on it. It's going to force Pads to turn on the ball in the midfield, but Mara there quickly to follow up. That is an open goal for Hawaiian Pizza, but none of them are there to put it in. Now we see a double commit in the corner. Sarek making the save on the goal line. dakri's already up early, but it is a fake for Mara. She's even going to follow up with a physical play in net. What else would she do? We have two of the most aggressive players in the league on one side of the pitch in Mara and dakri. Now a floater into the net. dakri does get the winning goal off of a lob from her half. Actually, that's just, woo, that it hit the ceiling. Hard to read when it does that, and it did drop in, though Pads tried to save it. Hawaiian Pizza coming back 1-2 in the series. Game number 4, we find ourselves on Deadeye Canyon, the new map variation, Oasis. What are we going to see from Hawaiian Pizza now that they've got a win? It looks like Mythra, with their patented card changes every single day, every single game is going to change to the Batmobile, but Rose is going to say, that doesn't matter at all. Let me just get a quick shot on net, and she does beat out the last defender in Mara. That was a screamer to the top shelf in the net, so that was going to be hard to save whether you were expecting it or not. Hawaiian Pizza seeming to start down in the series unless they have a AFK year-end roar player on the other half. But this time, nobody went to get mint water. We have a full squad right from the beginning. So how are Hawaiian Pizza going to handle this? They lost the first game when this happened. Couldn't win the second game when they had a 2-goal advantage. But they may have some momentum from that 0-second equalizer and subsequent victory in the third match. Sarek, she's going to beat one. Leaves it open for dakri in the midfield, meaning Pads gets up early, and the pressure from the Hawaiian Pizza squad is a lot. It's mounting up to a lot. Pads misses her touch, but she is going to get the demo. Rose trying to get the top shelf shot once again, but that is going to leave it to Mara to clear out. Sarah with the early turn. dakri takes it away from her, goes under one, gets the reset, and gets a top shelf shot. Oh, that was clean as you like from dakri. Gets a reset by going under one and wave dash shot Oh my goodness, it's beautiful. We're seeing some good shots today, good equalizers, good games. Loving it. Women's Weekly, happy to be here. You know, it's much better because if you guys just see my gameplay, I definitely can't do that. So, you know, much better that we see a little bit of skill from the higher women in the league. Rose gonna clear her out into the corner. She's gonna follow up with a fast shot, but it is offline and easy to save away from dakri. She's gonna follow it up with a shot off target. Mythra trying to get a shot online. Paz is gonna dive in for the save last second. Mara taken away off the sidewall, gets a pass down into the middle, but it was too fast. None of her teammates were there to support the push. Now we see Pads up for a quick save. dakri gonna get a demo on Rose. The goal is open for a second, but Mythra still play in the corner nullifies that advantage. Now the pressure is back on Hawaiian Pizza. dakri clearing it out, doing her best. Rose is going to take it all the way as she tries to bring it around the world, back into the midfield, beats out Mythra, gets it past one, actually gets past her teammate as well, but it's only going to go as far as dakri as she air dribbles it past one in the midfield. Pads with a good clear into the corner, relatively safe back here, but that is a floater across the net. Mara was not there to put pressure on. Pads, it's going to try to 50 it. It's going to go out into Sarah's possession as Mythra tries to stop it on the left boost. Now dakri up quickly. That shot is offline, but Pads bats it away anyways, and that is going to leave Mara to be alone in defense. We see Rose trying to slide through for a demo, but she was not able to connect with it. And we return to midfield play once again. Mara with a good pop into the center. She's going to pop it over the top of the goal as well. She almost gets the contact for the double, but does not quite make it there in time. Mara cutting off her teammate, makes it awkward in the mid, and Mythra is going to miss her touch. Now we have a fast push from Pads. It is blocked away by dakri though. Mythra, 51, 52. Mara trying to help her in the midfield, but she does not connect with it, and that is going to force Mythra to go quickly on the defense. dakri wasting some time. Oh my goodness, I'm getting so invested in this game. This is such a good matchup. These guys are so even. Mara trying to make a play out of the corner. dakri cannot follow up on it. That's going to leave Mythra with a push on net. Era and Roar staying alive so far. Hawaiian Pizza have definitely had a lot more pressure this game, and it looks like the boost is starting to run low for them as dakri gets another demo on her. She clears out one, bumps the other, but so far it is going to remain in the midfield. Now Pads up early. Mara backflips off of her aerial touch, and Rose is going to take advantage on the other end. Now we see a miss from Mythra, but a third ERN Roar Lady is not there to capitalize on it. Now Mythra on the dribble. She tries to fake out one. She gets to 50. dakri with a tight angle attempt. And we're going to see Mara commit. That's going to leave it open for Sarek to put in. That goal advantage might just secure ERN Roar Lionesses this victory. Man, Hawaiian Pizza were doing so good up until then. But when you have two very aggressive, very physically oriented players on the pitch in dakri and Demon Mara, you are more commonly going to see overcommits like that. And it, you know, let's see if they can bring back another equalizer in this game. And unfortunately for Hawaiian Pizza, we are going to see Pads put past a third into the bottom right corner. Looks like dakri just had an awkward read on the bounce there. Mythra turned a little bit early of the net. You saw she was all the way out to the first boost pad, if not even further. And that's just going to make, you know, trying to react to a shot like that so much harder. You know, that distance that you're cutting yourself off from gives you much less time to react to anything. But Mara trying to make it interesting. Just puts a shot that's a little bit wide of the goal, and now they're going to have to score right now if they want even a chance to equalize. But that miss from Mythra is going to mean that it is all but over as ERN Roar take the win. They get the victory with a 3-1 win against Hawaiian Pizza. GG's all around, very well played, and that is going to mean that RoseBlushes secures the second out of 3 $50 prize pool bounties of 2 tournament wins for the month of April. Congratulations to RoseBlushes. She's very well in this, and you know, I might say a fair bit of strategy bringing in the previous 2-time winner in pads, and you know, just making that victory all but convincing. Well, no, that is not the correct wording. Making that victory sufficiently convincing. There we go. Got it right in the end. But that is going to do it for us this time. I hope you enjoyed, and we will be back next week to see if any of the players that are now in contention. Now, just a reminder, so at the conclusion of this, we have Pads and RoseBlushes taking the two of 3 $50 bounties of 2 tournament wins. So now that is going to leave 4 players vying for that last $50 bounty prize, and it is going to be Karamel, dakri, Jazzkitty, and Sarek. So who will we see next week? Can somebody secure that third bounty of $50, or will it be rolled over into next month's prize? Thank you guys again for watching, and we will see you next week.